For more than 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter in our community. From our studios in St. Clair, you're watching Focus with Paul Dingeman.
Welcome to another edition of the world famous, at least in St. Clair County, Focus program. My name is Paul Dingeman. Glad to have you along. We got four very interesting segments for you lined up today. Let's begin with our famous friend, Deb Johnson from St. Clair County Community Mental Health. Welcome back to the show. Very busy young lady, and you have lots of information to share with us again this week.
Thanks for having me back, and thanks for calling me young. This May is Mental Health Month, and I know in our last time I was here, we talked a little bit about the upcoming things for May, and now we're in the month of May. And May is Mental Health Month, and it's an important time to try to bring more awareness to mental health issues. We do a lot of things related to our anti-stigma initiatives. And I don't know, I know I've shared this fact with you before, but 1 in 5 Americans experience a mental health condition each year, and only 41% of them receive treatment. And
wow.
Probably one of the biggest reasons they don't is the stigma associated with it, with receiving mental health treatment. So we have a lot of different things we've been doing. We talked a little bit last time, and actually a few times, about our art and writing contest, because one of the things we thought was important was to start educating kids in elementary school, middle school, high school about mental health issues so that they're not afraid of them, they understand them, and that they'd be more accepting about them. So this just came out. This was our annual report. It came out in the first Sunday in May in the Times Herald as an insert. We also have more copies at Community Mental Health, if people would like one. And you can see that the artwork on the top is our poster contest winner, created by a senior at Port Huron Northern, Brianna Johnson. And
that's been a whole great series of art.
Yes. And actually, I don't know, do you mean like over the years? 'Cause
yeah.
We've had, this is like our 9th annual poster contest. And so we've been doing this for that many years, and we use the artwork throughout the year in a lot of our messaging. So anyways, so that came out again, and then also we also distributed it at our annual meeting, which was just this past. It was May 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and at that time too, we recognized a lot of folks that have been doing quite well with their recovery, and then we also recognized and we showed a video about the people that were featured in the annual report. They shared their recovery stories with us. And then we also recognized folks from the community. Doug Doff was our Community Service Award recipient. He's, of course, the United Way Director. And we recognized the Women's Life Insurance Society. They were our Community Service Organization Award recipient. Sean Michaels,
wonderful
Radio
guy.
First. He was our media guy this year. And then our own staff of the year was Pat Parise. She's an occupational therapist, does an amazing job. So, and then our team was a group of folks that helped secure that $1.6 million grant we got from the federal government to develop the integrated healthcare project, which we're doing with People's Clinic. So yeah, it was a great night overall. We recognized all the kids. Anthony, St. Louis, 6th grader, St. Clair Middle School, won the writing contest.
6th grader won the writing contest.
Yep, and it was in the true story category, and it was a great story about his brother. Had some issues, actually physical issues, that caused seizures, out of control seizures, that caused other issues like difficulty learning, all things like that. And the mother did not give up, and she kept looking for help until she got the right help for him. And once they got his seizures under control, he's doing great. I mean, he's not even in special ed or anything else. But that's a great example of how you have to look at the mind and the body, for recovery. That was a happy story.
And his brother wrote the story.
And his brother, Anthony, wrote the story. Yep.
Wow, that's spectacular. 6th grader.
Yep.
We're going to have to watch that young man.
And it's in here.
Oh, okay, good.
It's in here.
Good,
You can
good,
read it. Yeah.
good.
So those things are all going on. And then, of course, May 14th is our Run for Recovery. You can still sign up. You could walk. You can run. Either. It's a 5K run. We're doing a 1-mile timed run this year for kids 12 and under, and also at a reduced rate. And then the walk. So that's always a lot of fun. And I hope it's like a day like, a nice day, sunny, not rain. That would be great.
No snow.
No snow. We also, and maybe I should have mentioned this first, because before that is the big community resource fair.
Right. The resource fair, Amy Smith was here last week, who works with you, and Amy told us about this, but This is a great thing. Let's review it again.
And it is a great thing. We have just tons of resources will be available at St. Clair County Community College on May 11th. It is free and open to the community. She probably gave you the stats on how many people come through that, and it's hundreds of people. And there's so many different things. There's a food truck, there's clothing, like if you're trying to get out in the job market and you need clothes for that. There's, I think, dental hygienists. There's people doing all kinds of physical wellness checks, blood pressure, all those kinds of things. Just a lot of great resources. Obviously, there's mental health type screenings, things like that. A lot of other agencies are represented. So people should, if they are looking for resources, that is a great one-stop shop to find out about it.
And that's May the 11th. And it's the 9th. I was having that problem last week with 9 and 11. The 9th annual one, but it's on the 11th of May.
And it's from 10 to 3 at St. Clair County Community College.
Okay. And then talk to me about some books that you...
Well, a long time ago, I don't know if you know Susanna DeFever.
The name.
She was a professor at SC4, but also she was on our board for many years. And she had the idea that we should have a gift of knowledge program. And the gift of knowledge is where people donate money, and then we buy books that we give to the St. Clair County Library, because we noticed many years ago that the books on mental health issues, developmental disabilities, things like that were not current. And that stuff changes all the time. There's always new research. So we wanted to make sure our library was equipped with up-to-date information in all kinds of categories: children's issues, adult, substance use, mental illness. Actually, there's a picture here. I know everybody else can't see it, but there's a lot of stuff on like stress management, managing pain before it manages you, because one of the biggest problems in our county is prescription drug abuse, and it's pain management, and then that leads to bigger issues. So anyway, so we donated the books. Last week I met with Allison Arnold, the director of the library, and we donated the 27 books.
Wonderful.
And they can be accessed through any of the branches. So we've been doing that for quite a few years. I know another exciting thing I want to tell you about.
I want to hear about it.
All right. We actually just started, set up a fund with the Community Foundation, because we are, we've been doing a variety of things to plan for our long-term sustainability. We continue to experience budget, up and downs. And so we know that we have to have a better plan for long-term sustainability to provide services in our county to those who need them. So we set up a fund with the Community Foundation. And right now, I thought I brought that in here, but I don't think I did. But anyways, we will match up. We have a source to match up to $50,000 donations that we will put into the fund that is held by and managed by the St. Clair County Community Foundation. The purpose of the fund is to pay for services and supports for individuals where there are no other resources available. And again, it's to help us.
Well, that's a wonderful idea.
So we have cards that we've made up. People can contact the Community Foundation if they'd like to make a donation. Just specify community mental health. We've been working with Jackie Hanton.
Okay.
And she's going to help us.
She does a good job.
She does a great job. So so that's exciting.
One final question, and then I'll let you go. You've been back and forth to Lansing many, many times. Lieutenant Governor Calley has been on head of a committee that you are serving on. And that committee has now been extended to a 12-month period?
Not 12 months yet. We have a couple more meetings, but the topic that we're working on right now is, we've been identifying things that work with the current system, things that need improvement with the current public mental health system, and actually made specific recommendations on the language that should be in the governor's budget, because of course we don't want the original language that the governor put in there, Section 298. The House and Senate both came back with different versions. Neither of their versions call for the privatization of the management of the public mental health funds, so that's good. But there was somebody there from, I believe was representing the Senate, and at our meeting, and he said, tell us what you guys want. Tell us what you think should be in there, and if it makes sense to everybody, they'll do it. And so we have a consensus language now from the group that will be presented to the House and the Senate. So I'll keep you posted.
Will that budget be approved for 2016-17?
17.
And for 17.
Yeah.
But so the stuff you're working on now will be for the next year's budget?
Yes, and it's actually just I mean, the original 298 language called for the privatization of the management of the $2.4 billion in Medicaid money,
$2.4 billion.
billion with a B, starting 10/1/18.
Oh, 18, okay. So
Yeah.
it's a couple years away.
10/1/7. At the end of at the end of fiscal year 17, which would be, yeah, that's right. So anyways, so it's not so much the budget and dollar amounts we're talking about right now. It's the issue of who will manage the money. There are also issues with some reductions in some of the line items, but we're addressing that as well. So I'll probably have a conference next week where we're going to be revisiting a lot of this, and then another meeting. So I should be able to have a better update next time.
You are a busy, busy person, but you're doing great work for St. Clair County community mental health and for the citizens of St. Clair County, and I know your staff's helping too. So
I have great staff.
right, that's right. All right, we have got a celebration going on in Marine City coming up just around the corner about a new Veterans Museum. We're going to hear all about that in just a second. A few years ago, there was an elementary school in the Marine City called Washington Elementary. Eventually, it became a very, very active place called Washington Life Center. Joining us from there today is John LaCroix. John is responsible for a new venture, which is about a year old or so, called the Veterans Museum. John, tell me about all of what's going on.
Paul, thank you very much for having us today and helping us get out the word on the Washington Life Center Veterans Club and Museum. And Jim is going to help us today too. He's the community service gentleman. Dave Anderson is the community, what do we got? The artifacts for the museum.
Ooh, that's a big job.
And he also does a lot of the putting together a lot of the airplanes and models, and I think we have one of the biggest in the Veteran Museum. We have one of the biggest aviation display of airplanes in Michigan, I would say. We've got all of them. Wow. And it is really a great display that we have there. People that are interested in coming and look. But what we're doing is we're looking at, and the address is 403 North Mary Street, Marine City, Michigan.
Right.
Phone number is 810-765-3523. And being part of the Veterans Club and the museum, Jim, Dave, and I have been asked to come here and talk about dedicating the museum to Jack Morris, who is a World War II Marine who was in the Pacific during World War II. In fact, Jack started with another gentleman, started the Veterans Club, and then got into the museum. And we've got over 800 items that are on display at our museum.
Wonderful.
And those items, you can come and see them on the last Thursday of the month at 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock. It's open for the public to come and visit and check everything out. But Jack lives in Marine City, and he's 92 years old.
I was going to say, how young is that gentleman?
Hey, he's 92 years old, and we're going to make a plaque for him, and it's going to be kind of an eagle with the United States flag on the back of it. I'm sorry, I don't have a copy to show us right now. But if you just come down on May 26th at 1:30, we're going to have a review line to go through and check out, say hello to Jack and Jack's wife Ruth, and we also have a speaker called Lieutenant Colonel Dennis Miller, and he's from Washington D.C.
Wow.
And he's kind of the museum coordinator of down that way, and he's going to come down and be our keynote speaker.
Beautiful.
And he'll be there too to anybody that wants to talk to him and find out what. So,
let's see. Jim, what is your involvement? What was your job? involved here?
I'm public relations
Okay,
for the Veterans Club.
so you got to get the word out.
More or less. We've been working on that for the last month. It's like John was saying here. It's Jack is a Marine Corps veteran.
Mm-hmm.
He was involved in World War II. He was with, I don't know if you heard this, the Navajo Code Talkers.
Right.
He was a bodyguard for
Wow.
one of the Navajo
Wow.
Code Talkers out in the Pacific.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
A lot of stories are just in that.
Yeah, I think they made a movie on
Yeah,
that
they did have a
some
movie on
years
it.
ago.
They
I
did.
believe Nicolas Cage was in that.
Right, right.
And but like I said, Jack's quite a guy. And
And he'll be able to talk to people and tell them to share some of those stories probably.
that's right. And our keynote speaker, Colonel Miller, he's former base commander at Selfridge.
Oh my God.
So he's from
Pretty big job.
the area here.
Yeah.
He's also former judge in Macomb County.
Oh my God.
So he's
quite a career.
He's got quite a career.
David, you're a collector. Is that the story?
Collector, ex-veteran. I was up in Korea over the 38th parallel line with the 17th Armored Field Artillery. The last 3 months in Korea, they pulled me out and said, Anderson, you're going to the Air Force.
Oh my God.
What did I do wrong?
That's right.
So I'm right across the street, and they fielded me over to Kimpo Air Force there at K-14. And I processed troops flying into and out of Korea on the C-124 Globemasters and C-119 boxcars. I made many flights from Kimpo to Tachikawa, Japan, back and forth. That induced me to become a pilot, which I got eventually got my license from the Grozil Naval Air Station.
Wonderful.
I liked it. And then I got involved with all these different aircraft. So our object in this Veterans Club here is to show you all the aircraft that we had in World War II, moving through Korea into Vietnam and everything. We have the particular aircraft that Ted Williams flew when he left from Boston, left for Boston for 1943. Flew and then there, came out of the war, hit over 300 again, and went back in Korea. I flew the F-9F Panther. And in fact, we give talks on all these different pilots and aircraft at the time. So we hope to have everything in a cross-section from World War II through Korea and Vietnam. And we have...
So these are all models.
These are all models to scale.
How big of an area? You got a couple of the old classrooms filled or what?
We have one big area, and it's pretty good. It's pretty sizable. We want all the people to come, if they please come, be objective about what they see, and let me know on how our presentation goes.
You want to improve it,
Absolutely.
and a little criticism or critique always helps.
We need that.
You need that. Well, that's a good attitude to have.
Thank you.
So is there any admission to the public for coming on May 26th?
No, they're going to have snacks and some drinks, but it's the ceremony starts at 2, but people are going to start coming at 1, so that 1:30 Jack and his wife and the commander will be sitting there, and we can kind of go through, shake their hands, and talk to them, and go into the main room to get ready for the 2 o'clock process. But we do have some other things coming up in the month coming up, if I may talk about those.
Yeah.
On the 30th, what we're going to have is Memorial Day. The veterans are going to go to the parade in Marine City.
Always a great parade.
And after the parade, they're going to come back to the Washington Life Center. And we're going to do a flag memorial ceremony for the donation from Marine City, Washington Life Center. And Candace Miller has sent us a flag that flew over the Capitol that the Boy Scouts are going to put up. Troop 296 are going to help us raise the flag. And for the dedication for that, and that'll be on the 30th after the Marine City parade. And I think, did you have some, Jim, some copies of the boat thing that we're going to do for Harson's Island for veterans?
Yes.
And you can give that to Paul. And
sure.
You got something you want to say on that?
Yeah, what it is here is there's an organization, Boats for Vets.
Okay.
And every summer they have, they host an event, open to any veterans. It's out on Harson's Island. It's free to any veteran. And I didn't go last year, but my understanding is they take you, they take
Okay,
the
that's in July.
veterans out in
No,
July.
July 18th.
July, well, that's what, you have to RSVP by July 18th.
July 23rd.
July 23rd is the actual event. And my understanding is they take the vets out on the boats, 2 or 3 hours out on various boats, and they go around Harson's Island, and they come back and they put on a big picnic. I guess it's quite a good spread, you know. It's,
All right. Well, we'll keep that one in mind. That's off another month or two. Have you got anything more, a little more current there that we
Yeah.
can tell people about?
Let's see, the 30th annual senior prom on May 20th.
Yeah, we've got that one on the bulletin board already
Okay.
for Washington Life.
Okay.
Let's. What we should feature here is what the veterans are doing,
Okay.
and the veterans, the Washington Life stuff we've got.
You already got
Yeah,
covered.
yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Jim.
no, I was just going to say one thing I'd like to say is that we're always looking for members.
Right.
And the Veterans Club is open to any honorably discharged veteran with at least 180 days of service.
That's Coast Guard or Air Force or anything.
Regardless,
As long as you're in the
all
military.
any branch of the service, and there's no age limit. It's from, well, someone getting out right now. We could have Iraq. I have 2 daughters that served in Iraq.
Wonderful.
They're in their 30s. They could join. You know, so it's not, because it's at the Life Center. It's not necessarily a seniors thing, but it's
Right.
it's any veterans from right now right on up through World War II.
Beautiful. And David, you just want them to come down and see that wonderful collection of
Absolutely.
of aircraft.
Absolutely. Candace Miller came through,
Yeah.
and she said it was very good. And she said, oh my goodness, she says, my husband flies in this 101
Yeah.
Voodoo.
Right.
We thought that was very nice. And she gave us a thumbs up.
Great. David, nice to meet you.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you. Good seeing you, sir.
Seeing you.
You
Thanks,
keep up
Paul.
the good work down there, buddy.
Thank you.
We'll have you back.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
We'll be back with more people talking about boats in just a minute. We are back, and we're back looking at freighters. That's the way to do it when you're in St. Clair County along St. Clair River. That is a Great Lakes freighter, but that is a model. And there's a group here to talk to us about an event that's coming up that you're going to be very interested in. It's going to happen at the St. Clair Boat Harbor. Down on the end is Katie, the harbor master. Well, nice to see you. Nice to see you, dear.
Nice to see
And
you.
next to Katie is Jim Teeple.
Tim.
I got to see I was going to do that. And Mr. Tom Sprung. Good to see you all.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Paul. Good seeing you.
You got an event coming up, the first time for it, at St. Clair Boat Harbor. What's going on?
We're having a interactive RC model boat show on May 15th from 12 to 4. It's a brand new event here in St. Clair I'm excited about.
Okay, it's an interactive boat show, model boat show. You've got a radio-controlled apparatus there, but you've got a couple nice ships that are. Is this one controlled by radio?
Yes, it is.
It is. Talk to me about it.
All right. Well, it's a chance for kids and dads to bring down a RC boat that they might have around the house. Maybe they got it for Christmas. And Katie had the idea to get kids involved with boating in the boat harbor. Maybe we should offer some RC events.
Yeah.
And there will be some RC tugboats that kids can do a number of skill activities with.
Wow.
So if they have a boat, they can bring it down. If they don't have a boat, they can come down and borrow one of these RC boats.
There's a lot of people in the community that I've known over the years that have RC planes, airplanes. Is it the same kind of group? Is it, if you do a plane, do you also do a boat necessarily?
Well, the learning curve with the airplanes is pretty steep. If you crash one of those, you know, but the boats are essentially, it's the same controls. There's a left-hand stick and a right-hand stick, and depending on how you've got it set up, one is the throttle and one is the steering. And some of the fancier boats might have other activities or functions that can be operated by the radio controller.
Pretty
But
simple.
once again, kids don't have to have an RC boat to enjoy this event. They can come down and use one of our boats. And we'll have a miniature little dock for them to attempt, for them to steer into. We'll have an obstacle course for them to navigate around, and then we'll have another skill activity where they have to do a circle, and for once in their life, we're going to give them permission to actually hit this milk carton out there in the middle of the...
I like it.
Yeah.
You say kids, but what's the age limit? I mean, I can visualize a lot of 60-year-old kids.
Well, and this, excellent point, that if someone's got that radio control boat down the basement that they got years ago, we'll bring it on out and we'll get it going, and they can enjoy the activity too. But if 13 and under, we set the limit. They need to be accompanied by an adult.
Okay.
And if Grandpa wants to come on out and bring out that old shovel nose hydroplane, we'll get it. Will it be an opportunity for him at a specific time to put that in the water?
Okay. Tom, your involvement in this?
Yes, we are involved in it from, Katie had contacted our boat model club.
Because Katie's pretty active.
She
She's
is.
getting a lot of people involved.
Yes, she does. She made the phone call and asked if the Great Lakes Nautical Society, which is a model boat club here in Port Huron, if we would come down and attend the show. And we said, sure, we'll show up. So we're going to have both static models, which are non-running models, such as this. And we'll also have RC models down there also for people.
Okay, these are the RC models.
Those are the RC models.
Talk to me about this one. Did you build this one? This
Yes,
is
I did. It's the Joseph A. France.
Joseph A. France, which still goes by St. Clair very frequently.
Pretty frequently. She was actually built in 1928 for Columbia Transportation. This particular model here is built on a scale of 1/32 of an inch to the foot. And it's a wood hull. It's all wood.
Did you build this one?
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
That's one that I did.
How long did it take you to build it?
That one took about 250 hours to
Wow.
complete, and
That is a labor of love.
a good bottle of vodka.
And a big bottle of vodka.
So
You melted the bottle down and made
that's
the
right.
cover.
We made the cover after that, Paul. Exactly right. Yeah. So we're going to have both, as I said, we're going to have both static line models and RC models at the show for Katie here in a week from this Sunday, actually.
The static models, where will you display those? Inside of the pavilion?
Yes, we have a covered pavilion. So if it rains, we're still covered. You can come down and enjoy something to see down there.
Okay, and off the main dock, is that where you're going to do the RC?
Yes. And so there'll be 3 functions. There'll be the kids can borrow a boat and do the activities. There will be a time for them to use their own boats and do the activities. And then there'll be a third period where some of the adults that have spent hundreds of hours building these boats, just out of the interest of keeping them all in one piece and the possible radio frequency conflicts.
Right.
But there will be demonstration of some of the beautiful boats that people have built that we'll get those operating in the water too.
In the RC world, do most people build skiffs like this, or do they build, you mentioned tugboats, do they build freighters, do they build all sorts of things?
If it'll float and you can put a motor in it, somebody's going to turn it into RC. In fact, some folks buy the bigger plastic model warships and adapt those to our radio control. It's really interesting. It's a wonderful hobby. And that's one reason that Katie wants us to share that and possibly get a lot more people involved.
I think you will. Katie, give me the dates and times again.
It's Sunday, May 15th from 12 to 4.
May 15th, 12 to 4.
Yes, and we also have 93.1, which is a Detroit country radio station. We'll be doing a live broadcast from 2 to 4, and they'll be giving some prizes away. And
Free
promoting the
autographs,
event.
probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe they'll charge the autograph.
And
Yes.
Katie has lined up from the Tower Hobby supplier, online supplier. She's got $25 certificates that there'll be a drawing for. So people can come down, put their name in the hat, name and address in the hat, and they can win a $25 gift certificate to Tower Hobbies.
And this is open to anybody.
Anybody.
You don't have to be a resident of St. Clair or resident of the county or anything. We can.
No, it's a great free event.
Okay, we're on this side. you've got something here. What is this?
That's actually from our club. Every year in April, the first 3 Saturdays in April, we put on what we call our Kids Model Boat Building seminar, if you will.
Okay.
And those kits are all made by club members. We charge $6 for the kit.
$6 for the kit. That's not too bad.
Kids can come down. It's held at the Maritime Center in Port Huron. And that's included in the kit, so you know how you're trying to put it together. Although I got to tell you, some of the kids come up with some really great models that don't quite look like that.
And this is a Laker.
That's a
Great Lakes
Laker. Right. And so they can come down. They can build them right there with us. We have a table set up so they can put them together there, or they can take them home with them, whichever they prefer to do. And it's probably one of the best times we have is that 3 Saturdays in April. We see a lot of kids, a lot of dads, a lot of a lot of moms. This year we had a lot of moms coming down and doing sanding and putting things together, which is great, you know.
But you're going to have some of these available on May the 15th.
We're going to take a look at it, yeah. Well, I don't know how many we got back from, how many we have left from the show we just did, but yeah, we're going to see what we got. If we do, we'll bring some down.
Couple quick things about Great Lakes Nautical Society. What is where does the group meet next?
We meet at the Maritime Center the first Wednesday of every month from 3 in the afternoon till, right now it's 5 o'clock because they're not open later, but anywhere from 3 to 5, and then the summer hours 3 to 6. And it's an open club. Anybody interested in building models can come down and be with us. We got a great group of guys. In fact, we're international. We have 2 Canadian fellows that come over. And so we encourage guys to come down, and if they want to get into model building, we'll be more than happy to help them out. The guys are open to telling you how to do things, showing you how to do things. It's just a great club.
But you got to bring your own vodka.
Got to bring your own vodka. Exactly.
Nice to meet you, sir. What were you going to say?
That if folks do come down, if they have a life preserver, a life jacket,
Very important.
to bring it. But if they don't have a life jacket, there'll be some available to borrow.
For kids.
And even if the weather is crummy, there will still be a static display, and the RC boats will be on display. But if it's raining out, we will have an inside
show.
Inside show.
Yes.
Well, it's family kind of event, free. Those are always the best. May the 15th from noon until 4 p.m. at St. Clair's beautiful harbor, the Charles F. Moore Memorial Harbor, I guess.
Marina?
Marina.
There you go.
That was the word I was looking for. Kate, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And good to see you and you.
Paul, as
a
always,
pleasure.
good seeing you.
We've got 2 people who've been waiting so patiently. We're going to get them right on now that we've made them wait this long. Therese Hawkins and Sue Daniels. We're right back with them. Two people here are very, very patient. Therese Hawkins,
Hello.
the executive director, will maker of the St. Clair Recreation Department, and the aquatic coordinator, Sue Daniels, are joining us on the Focus set to talk to us about all things recreation.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Okay, I'm going to start with, we do have a few spring events that are coming up in May here. The
Yep.
Safety Town
Yep, that's on the
is
14th.
14th, and that's at Neiman's Market.
Fun
parking
thing for
lot.
family.
Right, another free family event.
Yep.
And we bring out all the emergency services, fire, police, EMS.
You had school buses before.
We have a school bus safety. We actually have an antique garbage truck
Oh,
that
really?
Waste Management brings. The post office
Pat
has
Greavy
their.
drive it himself?
Yeah. Post office has a vehicle, the Marine Division, the DNR brings their wind boat, I think
Oh, yeah.
the fan boat out. So, and they all have handouts or hands-on activities for the kids to do. Neiman's gives out bandages for your first aid kit to have
Very
in your
important.
car or in the home. So that's coming up in May. And then
That's
we
May
will,
14th from when to when?
from 10 to 12:30.
So it's not a long,
In the morning,
it's not all
yep.
day, it's just
You can go to
10
soccer and
12:30.
then stop by, or just when you're out and about,
Yep.
do that. And
All right.
then we will have another session of ballroom dancing and another session of Zumba May and June. So those are kind of our spring programs. Then we get into summer.
Right.
And our summer concert series down at the park on Friday nights. We have a few exceptions to that. This year, the East China Community Band actually will be doing their concert on their practice night, which is a Monday. That's towards the end in July. And we have an outdoor movie that also features music. Some local kids, the Revivers, are going to be playing at that. That's a
Mr.
July.
Brandon Pavlo and
Yep.
and a fellow who used to work here by the name of Trevor Halawati.
There we go.
Plays the piano, plays the drums.
Yes, so that's in July. We're also doing our summer jam event, which is at the skate park. It's a competition.
I understand Sue's going to be on a skateboard this year.
That would be great. But for scooters, bikes, and skateboards. And we're doing a concert that same night. This is something new. This is a Saturday night, June 18th. And it's an Alice Cooper tribute band.
Wow, that's something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll
So
draw an
we'll
interesting.
see.
That'll be a very interesting crowd.
That'll
Sue
be
and I will not be
family
there.
friendly though. It would only feature family friendly songs from Alice Cooper.
Okay.
Or versions of
Right.
that. So that's kind of our musical lineup. And then the chamber sponsors the Sunday concerts in the Plaza, starting in
Plaza
August.
Park.
Yes. So, and then we have just going on with special events. We'll do those first. Get those out of the way. We have their kids' garage sale.
Yeah.
And our family bike parade, and then we have the car show, the classic car show.
Really successful
Yes.
last year.
And then we also have our fishing derby on River Day, which is June 11th. But we also want to talk about our community outdoor pool,
Right.
which is open for the summer.
We are open.
We get rumors every once in a while. Someone will
Well,
say,
it's not open now, but it's
No,
they're
opening.
They're prepping it.
But they'll say, oh, we thought the pool was closed, or we didn't think they were opening this year.
Right.
So we definitely are open, and we have a
That's
lot of
great
activities.
news.
Yes.
That's great news.
Let's-
I was talking to a gentleman the other day that said it's approaching 80 years that we've had a pool there in that spot, or is
Since 1955.
it 55?
It was a 75-year lease agreement, so that
75.
we had 15 years left on it.
Okay, so we're up to date on the lease agreement.
Yes.
But the pool will be open this year.
Definitely, despite all the rumors anybody has heard, the pool is opening.
Okay, and that date I believe is June 17th.
Yes, that's for the general public, and we're going to start a little early with the swimmer size on the 13th in the morning for the ladies, but then because of school all that week, we're not going to open till Friday for the general public.
And then I read in your brochure that you were contemplating renting the pool. Talk to me
Yes.
about that.
Yes,
I think it's
that's
a great
new.
idea.
Yeah.
Yes, this idea was given to me by somebody that thought it might be a nice idea for not only the public, but also to raise some funds.
Right.
And it will be available on Saturday mornings, and it would be from 10 to 12. And it can be, you can rent it for a birthday party
Yeah.
or whatever. And the group would have to supply all the food and everything. We will supply the staff to the guards and the supervisor to watch over the,
It's a fun idea. It really is a
Facility,
great
yes.
idea.
It could be a business if you wanted to do something
Yeah.
for your
If they wanted to have-
staff
yes.
Throw the
or
boss
private
in the
party.
pool.
right,
Yes.
right. So this is something new we're trying, and the cost will be $150.
Oh, that's very reasonable. For 3 hours, you said 2 hours?
2 hours.
2 hours, and then you got the complete staff, use of the facility, restrooms, showers,
Right.
et cetera, changing rooms. Okay, what else we got?
Okay, well, we're again offering lessons. That's the most important thing. We've got to
Right.
teach these children to swim. There's so much water around here. We have 2 sessions. The first session is, let me find, where am I? Oh yeah, June 20th to June 30th. That's 2 weeks, Monday through Thursday. The second session is July 11th through July 21st, and that's 2 weeks, Monday through Thursday. And the parent taught is offered the first session only, and that is where the parent has to get in the water with the child. And we introduce the real young ones as young as 6 months, We'll take them as young as 6 months, introduce them to the water through fun activities, making it fun. And they'll be learning, but they won't realize it. So that's always a fun class.
I'm always amazed at the success of that program and the thousands and thousands of kids that you and your staff have trained to swim. It's absolutely remarkable.
Well, that's why it was built.
Yeah.
That's why she's there. The main reason it was to, number one, teach children to swim, and number two, to try and keep as many of the young ones out of the river as possible.
I mean, they're still diving in down at the St. Clair Inn dock, but
The teenagers will always go down there.
Right.
That's a
there's
given.
pictures of you diving into the St. Clair.
Probably.
Probably.
Yes, I started in the river because we didn't have a pool back then. But we're here. We want families to come. It's a good, and they can bring food with them. We are allowing that if they want to come for the afternoon, if it's a hot afternoon.
Can you get food on the deck?
They are allowed to bring food on the deck. Yes, I know, because I can remember back when
No
that was
food on the deck.
Yes.
No food or drink.
But as long as they clean up after themselves and they keep the deck clean, we will allow it. Because then more families will come to enjoy it for the full
Be more like
session.
a picnic.
Yeah, instead of going to the beach, they can come to the pool.
Great, I like it. Okay.
And it's a $2 drop-in fee, and then we also have season passes. And the family pass is $100, the individual pass is $50, and the senior citizen pass is $45.
Yeah, very good.
And competitive swim team. would be the
Competitive
only other
swim
one.
team, yes.
Thing
We
to
are
mention.
having our competitive swim team again, and that will start on Monday, June 20th at 5:15, and they will all be tested at that time and placed in groupings.
When does swim team end?
That meeting has not been held by the league yet, but usually it's over by the first week of August.
So families want to travel or something.
Right, and that's the first thing they ask us. They
Right.
want to know when the meets are going to be over with. And we try to get them all in. We're all in agreement, all of the teams, to try and get them in July as much as possible.
Anything else?
Then, well, programming-wise, we do offer youth tennis through the Port Huron Tennis House. The instructors come to St. Clair at the high school tennis courts, so that's a good program for beginners and advanced level, both youth and adults. We have our summer playground program called YAPS.
Yep.
6-week playground program. That's very popular. What else do we have? Our circus camp, which is a 1-week camp. We're doing that. We're doing a Lego camp for preschoolers, 4 to 6-year-olds, that age group. New program this year, we're doing yoga in the park and
Oh, that's a
also
nice
at
spot
the
to do
boat
it.
harbor. On Wednesdays in the park, Palmer Park, on Saturday mornings at the boat harbor with Happy Dog Yoga Studio downtown. And then we have our pickleball. We have a
You
couple
busy people.
of casino trips for people.
But there's a new brochure out.
Yes, that's
And-
the other thing. And it's available at City Hall. It will be in one of the local publications, the Shopper Savvy.
Okay.
I always want to say Savvy, Shopper
Both
Savvy.
will work.
And it's available online at the city website. So registration starts May 16th, and just come down and take part in our activities. We'd love it.
Great. Thank you, Sue. And what about the pool? Is the pool open this year?
It sure is, and we were just talking that maybe we ought to buy one of those neon flashing signs to put up out there. Pool
Get the big
is
circular
open.
lights that they have
Yeah.
for-
Yes.
for grand opening.
Yes, because there's been so many rumors going around, and just disregard it. We're there.
The pool is open.
Yes.
Yes.
We-
Sue Daniels, thank you very much for all you
sir.
do for the city.
Thank you.
Trace, of course, you too. That's about it for this edition, which was a long extended edition, but we thank you for staying tuned with us, and hopefully you learned lots of information from the Focus program here. Until next time, Paul Dingaman, see you soon.
Thanks for watching Focus with Paul Dingaman. Focus is produced at the CTV Community Television Studios in St. Clair. For over 20 years, CTV has captured the moments that matter to our community.